So I saw a trend on Twitter where people were cutting the weapon roster in half. The main weapon, not the kits, just the main weapons. And I thought I wanted to do my own take on it because I think it would be very fun to do as a video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to join my Discord server, the link is down below. Now let's get started. So I'm going to be doing one keep at a time and one cut at a time. I'm not going to go in any specific order, but at the end of this I will order everything by class. Let's start off simple. Junior. It's a staple weapon. I'm not gonna see a world where Junior ever leaves Splatoon, honestly. I just feel like that isn't very likely for the game. It's your standard weapon that you always start with throughout all three of the games. Tri-Slosher, that can go. I don't think we need Tri-Slosher. I think it can be very unhealthy at times. It's just not the best and fun main weapon to play in my eyes, when we have a lot more unique buckets in the game. So I think this is an easy go for Tri-Slosher. While we're at it, let's do another one. Sploosh. I debated getting rid of this one, but we have a lot of other shooters that can paint very well, like Junior and Aerospray, so I don't think we're gonna need Sploosh in the game with all this other crap, because we have a lot of shooters. Could you tell? One we will keep is Carbon Roller. Carbon Roller is a very flexible, stealthy weapon. It's very unique to almost every other roller other than Swig, and overall I just think it's a way better fit than Swig. So while we're at it, let's get rid of Swig. Swig tries to do so much, but it's just not great at what it does. I feel like I say this in almost every other video, but it really isn't good. It tries to do so much, but it's just not there. Splat Roller, really good main weapon. It's a base roller. I don't see a place of Nintendo getting rid of it at all, if I'm being completely honest. Another one we're gonna get rid of is Clash Blaster. Clash Blaster is a weapon I do not want to see good. The only time it should be good is good in A rank. If this weapon ever became meta, it would be one of the worst metas ever because AoE is not fun. Dynamo Roller, we're also gonna keep that. It's a very big painter, and it's really good at painting. It's okay at killing, and so is Flingza. But I think we're also gonna go ahead and cut Flingza while we're at it. Dynamo just has a few more properties I like. I do like the wide angles that Flingza provides, but I don't think we're gonna go through with it. Now, H3, we're gonna keep H3. H3 has no jump RNG, has a one shot. It's very hard to hit this one shot, but it feels very rewarding when you do. And it has a very high skill ceiling, which I think is a great thing for weapons. Weapons of high skill ceilings really shows and provides skill expression. One we'll be getting rid of is Squeezer. Why, you might ask? Well, I think it's quite simple. Mashing. If Squeezer didn't have the mashing demand, I would be fine with keeping it, but it's not fair to everyone. Not everyone can play it, including myself. I really cannot play Squeezer for that long before the carpal tunnel kicks in. So I'm a little biased, but I don't think we need this in the game. Splattershot, of course, we're going to keep Splattershot. It's Splattershot. You can't imagine a Splatoon without a Splattershot. Like, there's nothing more to say there. Up next, we will be cutting E-Liter. E-Liter is the longest range charger in the game. Whenever E-Liter is good, it is very unhealthy because you are just not allowed to play the game, and if that E-Liter is good at hitting their shots, you will not play your game. And especially in Splatoon 3, with how many maps E-Liter can dominate, if it wasn't cooler meta, E-Liter would be insane right now, but we are in cooler meta, and I feel like that's how we're going to end Splatoon 3. Next up is the Rapid Blaster Pro. There's two Rapid Blasters, so while I'm at it, I'm going to cut this one and explain them both. They just have different range values. That's all it is. I think we can do without one, and let's get rid of the shorter range one. I think it's as simple as that. 96 gal, we're going to keep it. It's a unique 2-shot kill from a long range distance with pretty bad RNG, but landing 2 shots and getting a splat, especially over fall off, it's very satisfying to hit. 52 gal, we are not keeping that. You look at the enemy for a millisecond and they die. The weapon takes 52 seconds to pick up, and I don't like fast, not instant, but fast kill times where it's just a 2-shot and it has a lot of range for being a decent 2-shot, and I just don't think that's something we need. Machine, very unique bucket, very unique projectile. I think it's worth keeping. Great unique projectile. It has huge AoE and is very, very unique amongst a lot of the buckets, so I think this is an easy keep. While we're at it, let's get something similar out the way. Luna Blaster. Why are we getting rid of Luna Blaster? Because I'm keeping S-Blast. S-Blast is that good median of short and long range because it has 2 firing modes. And it's just a very, very unique blaster. So I think we should keep this one because, come on now. 2 firing modes? You can't beat that. I know Squeezer has it, but like, when do you use the paint mode outside of zones? And to paint for Zuka? Tell me. Which I guess is do an objective, but still, leave me alone. Let's switch up. Let's do another keep. Dread. Another unique bucket. Dual slosh that you can angle at different areas and hit 2 targets at once. Yes, it takes a while to get used to, but I think it's still a very, very cool concept. Nova, we're not keeping Nova. I don't think I need to explain Nova. It's decent range, terrible accuracy, 5-shot kill. I don't think this is something we're going to need. We're keeping Splash. Perfect jump RNG, and is a very flexible weapon, but it has very short range. I think this is also very self-explanatory. The uniqueness of a weapon can carry it into being and staying in the game. Now, we're going to cut Bloblobber. There's a lot of times where you can get an accidental kill by not even trying. It's happened to me. I was a Bloblobber player. But I just don't think Bloblobber deserves to come back unless it gets reworked, and that's not what this is about today. So we are just going to cut it. We are going to keep Zap because it's your average, decently bad accuracy shooter, but paints a lot, has good mobility, and I think that covers the job for a lot of weapons. L3 is one I debated keeping or not. It's very similar to H3, however you do have to do 2 bursts to kill someone with it, and it does not have perfect jump RNG like the H3 does, but I would like to keep this weapon, and we might be able to switch some others. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna keep in keeping, put and cut. We're doing this on the fly, but I don't think L3, if we have an H3, I think we just need, or a something 3, there we go. If we have a 3 weapon, I think we can do with 1. Range Blaster, it's a unique blaster, come on now. And the only reason why I say it's a unique blaster is because it's the long version of this blaster. So, we're gonna keep it, come on now. Now, Pro is a standard 3-shot kill. It doesn't have the best jump accuracy, but I really do think we can do without Pro. We are going to end up keeping Jet Sculpture, I'll just say that much. One dually I want to get rid of is the Dapples. Dapples are cool, but I feel like a lot of the other dualies completely outclass them regardless of the meta. And they're just they're not that unique in my opinion. It's just a quick, fast dodge roll. That's all it is, with terrible range. Like I said, we'll be keeping Jet Sculpture, 4-shot kill. Has really good poking range, and I think it's something that deserves to stay. Ballpoint is unique, so we're keeping it. However, as much as I like Hydra, we're going to cut Hydra. Because there's so many Splatlings that have a lot of range, but Hydra is the very vanilla one that just has a lot of range with a good fire rate. But we have stuff like Ballpoint, Nautilus, and Heavy Edit that have decent gimmicks. We're also going to be cutting Ink Brush because Carpal Tunnel. I'm slightly biased for this one, but I don't like mashing. Now, Octobrush and Paintbrush do not require as much mashing. Those are way more playable weapons, for me at least. So I'm fine with keeping Octo and Paintbrush because we can't really get rid of all the brushes, and I feel like Ink Brush should stay, but at the end of the day, mashing is mashing. Now we gotta cut 2 things. Undercover is a very cool concept, but I don't think it's needed considering we have the recycled Brella. Now, I was thinking either between Dually Squelchers or Dowser Dualies, and Dowser Dualies is the S-Blast of Dualies, so I really am on the side of keeping it. I'm honestly more for getting rid of Splat Dualies. Because they're basic. And that's really all it has going for it. It's a basic dually with 2 dodge rolls. There's nothing very unique about it. Pencil and Squiffer are very unique chargers, so I think they deserve to stay. Same with GooTuber. Now, however, Bamboo, once again, very unique charger, but at the end of the day, compared to these 3, I don't think it has a uniqueness level of these 3 compared to Bamboo at all. Heavy Splatling, we honestly could do without. We have Heavy Edit, it's pretty similar. So I think we could do without Heavy. Aerospray, it's also going over here. If we're going to have Junior, I don't think we need Aerospray, because it does the same thing, just a little worse range and damage. We're going to keep all 3 of these Brellas. They're all unique in themselves. We're going to cut Mini, and I really debate wanting to get rid of Tetras or Dually Squelchers, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to get rid of Glugas. Glugas are a very cool main weapon. I love how they play, I love how they feel, but we have 52 Gal, which is the same, or 96 Gal, which is the same thing. Just shorter range with dodge rolls. As cool as Splatana Wiper is, I also don't think we need Splatana Wiper. It's very different to Stamper, but it's also more or less a rat weapon, and I don't think we need rat weapons. Stamper will be an obvious keep. Big Bow is an obvious keep. Reflux is very, very, very unique, but at the same time, I can do with cutting Reflux. And I know we had our unique charger or unique Splatling debate, but I think Nautilus is also a weapon I would be cutting. I do love the fact that it has a charge hold. You can recharge mid-charge, but I feel like if we're going to get rid of one of these, you know what? Nah, I'm going to keep it with this. We're going to keep Ballpoint up here, and we're going to keep Nautilus down here, because we do need some range with Splatlings. Now, for the buckets, I think we keep Explo. Get rid of Bucket. I feel like Dread is way more unique than just the normal Slosher. While we're at it, we're going to keep Dowser Dualies. It's the S-Blast of Dualies. It has very long firing mode, or very long turret mode, but once you hit that roll, you have a lot shorter range, but a way better fire rate, like most Dualies. Now, unfortunately, I think we're going to cut the Dually Squelchers, because, in my honest opinion, this is a glorified Jet Squelcher that should have stayed the Dual Squelcher. Now here's where we're getting stuck. It's getting hard to pick stuff now, because I'm very low on main weapons I have left. Also, by the way, we're not doing scopes. We're not going to do scope variants. That's stupid. We're just going to count them as one. No matter what, we're going to have an uneven playing field. We have to keep the Splat Charger, and I also feel like we have to keep Heavy Edit, but I also want to keep Tetra Dualies. Now, the only option I am seeing for Tetra Dualies really is a roller, because right now we've cut almost half the Dualies. More than half, actually. We've cut almost all of them. Oh god. Okay, no. We're gonna get rid of the blaster. Keep Tetra Dualies. Because if we're gonna have blaster, I think we can do with one. Range blaster's okay. And I feel like if we're going to have long range poking, I think Jet Squelcher does a better job than 96. So we will take back Dually Squelchers. And honestly, I think this is what we're going to settle for. I think this is the list I want us to work with. And there you have it. This is the list I am settling on. I do think a lot of the weapons that we have down here are excess trash. Not saying they're bad. Let me get that clear. I'm not saying that these weapons are bad. I'm just saying that there's a lot of weapons in this game that are just variants of other weapons. I really wanted to keep the 96 Gal, but I'm going to go for, we're not going to keep the 96 gal in hopes that they could do something better than the 96 gal or Glucose. And a lot of the weaker options like Clash, Undercover, Wiper, their Arrow Spray, we're just not going to deal with them. Am I saying I want all of these weapons to leave the game? No, I'm not. But when you're trying to cut a roster in half, it's kind of hard. I'm not going to lie. But I think this is the list we're going to go with. And don't take this personally. This is just what I think at the moment I'm recording this. And any weapon is good, even the right hands. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, check the description if you want to join my Discord. But other than that, I'm going to tap out. Have a good one.